These four things nearly killed my agency. First, I focused on too many services. Trying to be everything to everyone is a recipe for disaster. Focus on fewer, more productized services would definitely be the way I would go. Maybe 2 or 3 for a particular vertical. You can speak to their needs a lot more directly, and even from a process perspective, you're not reinventing the wheel every time. Second, I focused too much on team size. We were really lucky with a great team, but at the same time, we maybe focused too much on that overarching number, which is impressive to people. It sounds great. I've 10, 15, 20 people, but at the end of the day, that's 10, 15, 20 salaries to pay, 10, 15, 20 people relying on you as a business owner. At the end of the day, if I would have kind of worked backwards to figure out, okay, what is the ideal structure of my team in order to deliver the revenue and profit I need and fill those spaces a lot more predictably and much more of a disciplined fashion, we would have been a lot better off. Third, I didn't get out of the way. I was too focused on micromanaging, thinking I knew better in every single situation, and didn't give people an opportunity to make mistakes. Maybe in some situations, again, that would have lost a client or maybe caused an issue, but at the end of the day, it kind of sacrificed the long-term health of the business because I was too, I suppose, in the weeds when I didn't really need to be. When I shifted that mindset and ultimately allowed people the freedom and flexibility to learn, do everything perfectly every time, they were much better off longer term, and I was able to kind of move out of the day-to-day, out of the weeds. Finally, we could have been clear on our KPIs. Now, naturally, you're going to look at revenue as maybe a North Star on a daily basis, but as we're seeing in e-commerce, that doesn't necessarily answer all your questions. Focusing on things like your team utilization rate, look at maybe your salaries as a percentage of revenue, making sure things like your rent cost didn't represent maybe too big a portion of your sales or revenue is so important, because ultimately, however quickly that revenue is coming in, it can go out the other side if you're not really careful. What you don't want to do is wait a couple of weeks or at worst a couple of months to speak to an accountant to get all that additional context and not have a clear view. If you're making every decision through the lens of profitability, you're in a much better position to succeed.